morning. My name is Lori. Welcome to A Study in Scarlet Quilt Along. Today we are assembling the parts and pieces we've been working on for the past 2 weeks for this block, Cathedral Window. Let me turn to my drawing. We are going to start by assembling the center block. Let me grab my pieces here so we have them all together. Move my book over a little bit. So I need the fussy cut center in my pile of parts and pieces. And this is the fussy cut center. Then I need the background with purple geese, all pointing outward. And then last, I need the purple squares to go in the corners, and that will assemble the center piece for the block. I'm going to sew this like a 9-patch, row at a time, and press toward the open block. So I'm going to press out, in, and out. Let me get this sewn together and pressed, and I will be right back. So here we have the center assembled. Let me set this aside. We need to work on the hourglass and flying geese units next. So I need the hourglass. There are 4 of those. So I need 4 flying geese units pointed in, 4 more flying geese units pointed in. Let me sit these on a board so I can take them over to the machine. And while I am speed piecing these, I am also going to speed piece this corner unit. And then all I'll have left are these extra flying geese to add to these parts. So I want all of my flowers pointed outward, like so. So if I put the small square to the corner, and then I add the 4 pieces here, then I can just sew this like a 4-patch. And I will be ready to do some more joining in a few minutes. I'm going to add this to the top of the board, take it all to the machine at one time, and do some speed piecing. Oh, while I'm speed piecing all of these other things, I could be speed piecing these 2 flying geese together too, since they go side by side, just like this. Let me add this to my board. Here is my centerpiece. Before I press these, I need to look at how this is going to work. I'm going to flip this upside down. I know that seems odd, but you'll notice that these go out, these go out, these go in, these go in. So that means if I press 2 of these out and I'm sorry, 2 of these in and 2 of these out, then they will line up. So that is how I need to press these pieces. 2 of them toward the centers, 2 of them outward. Let me go do that. When you look at these from the top, you can't really tell which one is pressed out or in. It's not until you flip it over that you can tell the difference. And they do really want to go inward, but to make life easier, it's best to have some of them going outward. So let me add my center to the board. And I'm going to do the 2 outward ones first on either side. So I'm going to lay that on the board and take it to the machine and add those pieces. Now I still have all these to press, and I have these to press. Now these, it really won't matter, because when I add it on to this piece, there's no seam there because we did this as an hourglass. So I can press these any way I want, or I could press them open. So this does not matter which way I do it. Just going to throw those back there. But these, when I add them to the corner, when I add them to the corner, and I know that the corner will be down here, that this will be here, and then I will be adding it. So, and I know this is off. There you go. Let's put it so you can actually see it. So when I add this on here, I need, and the other piece will be there, so there will be a seam here. So to make my life easier, I'm going to press toward the fussy cut. And when I do this one, I am pressing toward the little blue square. So I'm pressing in and out. And then when I add this, I will press again this whole row toward the fussy cut. I will show you that here in a moment after I assemble some more pieces. Actually, I lied to you. This section, I can add these pieces to the outside before I join the ones to the center. So this is going to be my next step. And then I will be able to put it the rest of the way together. I don't want you to think that I am, part of the pressing quilt police. No, I'm not. You can press it however you want. I just happen to work it out for this block to make my life easier. You can do what you want. So flipping this over, I'm going to make sure, well, this has the direction, this is directional. So I know that I need the pieces that go to the outside for on the sides. So I can lay those here and here. And then I'll lay the other two. This block gets really big really fast because it is a 20-inch block. And this one goes here and here because those are pressed to match. Well, they don't lay there exactly because there's a box of blocks there. And then because these are all pressed toward the fussy cut, this does not matter as much. So this will go here and here and here and here. And now I have a giant 9-patch to assemble in rows and parts and pieces. Let me go do that very quickly. I have the rows assembled in this blobby mess here. That is a nice big row. But when I flip it over, you'll notice that those interior points here and here want to be outward. So that's the way I'm going to press them, outward. I finished sewing this big, fantastic block together, and I will meet you right back here. Here it is on the design board, the Cathedral Window, big, bright, and beautiful, 20 inches. I hope you enjoyed this video. And now I will switch to the coloring section. Here we are to the last part of the video. We need to color in the pill blocks and this cathedral window block. Let's start with the pill blocks. Dan is cleaning out cupboards, so there may be some background noises that are unavoidable. So I'm going to use a light brown for the creamy tan color, because colored pencils don't come in light tan. I'm going to color those blocks on both sides with that color. Then I'm going to come back in with, I have green and gold, and I think I had decided that the gold was going to go on top, so I need to color in those little corners. He's trying so hard to be quiet. I love him.
Are you recording?
Yes, I am. And there's the green. And the green over here. Now on to the cathedral window. I know that these blocks all have flowers. So I'm going to make some little blobby flowers, and they have some green. And I know it's not drawn to scale. And they have a little bit of blue. And I need some green around this one. I know these outside corners are the dark blue. Then I have lots of purple. Purple here, purple here. Down. So there is the purple, and it is very distinctive. Next I need the bright pink for all of those lovely hourglass and flying geese that we added, so that they would stand out. This block, if you haven't realized, this block can be, oh, there's Miss Honey Bunny's nose. Hey, Miss Honey Bunny, do not take the colored pencils. No, no, no. Oh, Miss Honey Bunny, help her. Let's move the remote control so she She's not tempted to eat that. How many chomps does it take to get to the center of a Fire Stick remote control? 1. And it doesn't even have to break into pieces before it no longer works. Just saying. Oh, I missed one of the purple ones. That's why I don't put my colored pencils away till I'm all done. And there is, well, I need to add some light blue all around. Light blue. And I'm just to get light blue, I'm just pressing very gently with the light blue pencil so I can get a little bit of color in there for the background. And there we have it. Let me add some more blue here in those. And there it is, the big cathedral window. This is a block that, if I mentioned it or not, if you change around the colors, you can get a very different look from this block. It doesn't always necessarily have to look like that. I'm going to add some color there. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Study in Scarlet. I will see you next week for a whole new month, and a whole new episode will be dropping on Monday, July 1st, my birthday. See you then. Remember to like and subscribe in the comments or below.